thing about cruising is it takes you to a lot of places. And now I know what you're thinking. Well, obviously it takes you places. You're moving and sailing every few days. But that's not quite what I mean. Whilst we lived in the UK, working the jobs that made our alarms go off at 6:30 AM Monday to Friday every week, life felt kind of the same. We saw the same sights, we drove the same roads, we ate the same food, shopped in the same shops, and from one day in January to one day in July, not much really changed, aside from the weather. But since we've started sailing, it really feels like day to day, everything changes. From a marina in Bayona, Spain, to a mooring buoy off the tiny island of Mayreau is also different. Then there's Petite Nevis, the uninhabited wild stopover we called home for a few days later in this vid, as far from a luxury holiday resort as possible. We were there alone to begin with, and then good friends joined. Our friends Ava and Mads from Sail Life are about to get into the anchorage we're in. Another big difference in just 12 hours. A change in pace, safety, communication, and enjoyment by another boat just dropping anchor near us. Maybe it sounds like I'm being overly romantic, making everything into a method of storytelling. But when there's less repetition in the mundane does really start to tell its own story. So settle into this week's journey and take a dive into our slightly different way of living. For those who have joined our story here, hi, we're Becca and Zach. We bought our boat Tay-Lee last March after saving for years, and after 6 months of figuring it all out in the UK, we ditched the lines and really started the adventure. So come along with us for the highs, the lows, and absolutely everything in between. Because we're not just doing it, we're bloody doing it. You got it, yeah? I'm keeping an eye on the deck. So we are in and it's awesome here. The currents are insane. Zach just hopped in to dive on the anchor and there's a 2-knot current and he was just like really having to swim.
On our hike last week in Beckway, we spotted a small uninhabited island off the southern tip. There wasn't any boats anchored off the shore at this time, but we were intrigued by the spot, and after a quick check on navionics, we realised that we could find some shelter there. This spot was actually used as a whaling station until a number of years ago, when the owner of the island decided they didn't want to be associated with the practice any longer. We were expecting a few whale bones and remnants, but apparently they had been taken to mainland Beckway by the Moon Hole, a small isolationist community which used the whale bones as building materials, which we actually sailed past to get here. Seen better days. There's a whole thing about to fall down.
Feels like autumn.
Yeah, it does.
So it's about 7:30 at night and I don't think we've ever been in Anchorage where we've looked at the island and there's just been no lights on. This is completely uninhabited and look at this. Just nothingness all the way around. Wait, what's that? Oh, that thing you can see? No way. That's a star. It's like the stars are coming out on camera. Ready to go find some cool underwater stuff? So bad because this morning we are super excited because our friends Ava and Mads from Sail Life are about to get into the anchorage we're in. And when was the last time we saw them?
It was just before Bayona in Spain.
Yes.
Oh no, it was just before the Sears, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because they got there just after and they spent a while there, but they were waiting for a new wind vane, so we lost them there and they finally caught up with us again.
Yeah, which is so nice. We've really missed them. So yeah, we're on the binoculars and we're going to wave them in.
It's definitely a warrior.
It's definitely a
The
warrior.
AIS is still saying they're in Beckway at the moment, but...
They turn the headlands up, it's like, that's them! But yeah, we were saying that it's just so strange when you meet people in one continent and meet them again in the other, and how much changes between those two.
So much. We didn't really know any of our younger cruising friends by then. We hadn't met... there's so many people we've met in between now and then. Because before then, we hadn't met a ton of people because we were just bombing down the coast. Met them, slowed down a little bit in Spain, didn't we?
So much has happened since then.
But yeah, we've met so many people since then. It's crazy.
And we've changed as sailors so much, and our plans have changed. And I don't know, I just feel like
I actually almost call myself a sailor now.
Yeah.
Almost.
I just feel like that snapshot in time, looking back at that cold time in Spain, it was a really fun time with these guys, but just so much has changed since then. And yeah, I don't know, it's really quite a cool feeling. We had it back in Dominica, meeting Dennis and Marta again after the crossing. And
but this is an even bigger gap. This is significantly bigger.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, we're very, very excited to see them. Woo! Woo! 25 knots. Where did that come from? Hello. Yeah. The following morning, we hoisted our sails, said see you soon to Ava and Mads, and began the 23 nautical mile passage south to a place where we were promised would be blue skies, free moorings, and luscious locks of seagrass. Zach's words, not mine.
Woohoo! This is Mayreau. They marketed it as a saviour from sailing, a break from life on board. Too bad we prefer our own bed. But as far as the views, and the watercolour, and the mooring buoys go, these ones are pretty sweet.
So we just went to a little place called Simon's Bakery, which was pretty much just someone's house with a kitchen. And we kind of knock on the door, and a girl comes out. Hi, do you sell bread? She's like, yeah. She hands us some bread. But we also went to a little supermarket, and it was limited, but it's not too bad actually. This is what we got. It was 44 EC for this, which was £14.60, Zach.
We spent on everything.
We basically spent 15 quid on this. Saki's definitely gonna poop there.
There's loads in there.
Oh, they're all.
Oh! It's gonna make the boat a bit lighter, at least. No, they're not. It's sushi rice. That's all I've got left.
So last week we opened our sealed tub of rice and there were bugs in it and we couldn't believe it because it's sealed, and so we've just got these two 5-kilogram bags that we've spent quite a lot of money on them, stocked up, got them on board for the next bit of our journey, because obviously we're in the Grenadines now and it's a lot more expensive for things like this, and they're full of bugs. So a joy of living in the Caribbean on a sailboat.
Next time we need to make sure they haven't got holes in it.
Yeah, that's so stupid.
They've got little holes in all the bags. There must be a reason why that's the case, but...
Well, look how many bugs. I don't know if you can see. Oh, it's making me crawl. That one's got so many in it.
Can you... I'm going to chuck this outside. That would have lasted us ages as well. That's like half a year's supply of rice for us, 10 kilos. Tons.
Gutted.
The speaker's missing.
Yeah. So we're currently in the dinghy heading to a buoy just past the island, and there's actually a wreck there, and it's a British naval ship that went down, I can't remember when. So we're gonna try to avoid and suss it out. As we've just left, there's a squall that's been moving in the opposite direction to us, but it's just this massive black in the distance. So yeah, hopefully that goes that way and we don't end up getting soaked, but we're in the water anyway, so
Doesn't matter.
that boy. It's not it? Not at all? Oh no. Well, that's if we could find the thing first. Another check on Navionics, and we realised we were 100 metres from it. So we untied, headed over there. Yeah?
It's definitely there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Woo! Second time lucky. Nice. And dived in and found the wreck. This is HMT Peruni, a British patrol boat which ran aground and became a wreck on the 29th of August 1918. At 43 metres long, 295 tonnes, 12 metres down, she was now home to an incredible array of marine life. What's crack-a-lacking, Zach?
It is absolutely peeing it down. It's really windy as well. That was probably like, I don't know, almost probably 30 knots then.
Yeah, just hit us.
It's coming from the west,
Mm-hmm.
which is really, really weird. We're not having a wind coming from that direction for
No.
ever, I don't think, here.
Yeah.
It's awful. All the umbrellas have flipped over and oh, that's so sad. All the picnic benches are soaking wet.
There's a cruise boat all the way out there. A cruise ship. Camera's not even getting it because it's so foggy, but it's out there. Everyone's come to enjoy their holiday, Zach, from the UK probably, and they've been hit with rain. Pretty miserable.
Next week, we head around to the spectacular Tobago Cays Marine Park.
We just cannot get over the colour of this water. It's actually the best we've ever been in.
Where Becca turns another year older and we soak in the picturesque, perfect views, which we, yep, still are in disbelief to be living in. See you then.